Caught Between Two Wars, a memoir of growing up in wartime London. We were sitting in the lounge one summer's evening in 1944. My mother was glancing at the newspaper, and my father was reading to me Beauty and the Beast, one of my favourite fairy stories. I sat there enthralled with the sound of his voice, and also scared as the story progressed. I knew what suffering was to come before all was made right again, and everyone lived happily ever after. An air raid siren sounded, and as usual, we ignored it to carry on with the story. It had become our act of defiance in the face of the enemy. We'd long ago abandoned our shelter under the staircase, adopting a fatalistic attitude to the bombing raids. Nowadays, the raids occurred both day and night. The Germans had invented the V1 flying bombs, which were known as doodlebugs. These were jet-propelled from a site in France and were pilotless. They were the forerunners of the cruise missile of the 1960s. For me, all was well in the bosom of my family. It was a day when my parents happened to be on good terms, and I was happy in the knowledge that the story ended happily. As the doodlebugs began to come over, we experienced a grim satisfaction that we remained unscathed. But then came a very loud noise, almost overhead. Buck, buck, and then total silence. The engine had cut out, and the doodlebug was now in free fall. Without a word spoken, my father gathered my mother and me onto his lap and kissed us each in turn, holding us in a tight embrace. It was common knowledge that there were 12 seconds after the engine cut out before the blast hit. There was no time even to scramble under the stairs. As he held us, my father began reciting the Lord's Prayer, and silently in our own heads we began counting. Each second seemed like an eternity as we counted out our lifespan. 1, 2, 3, how much will it hurt? 4, 5, I won't live to grow up. 6, 7, I felt strangely secure. 8, 9, at least we were all going together. 10, 11. To find out what happens next, here's how to buy a copy of my book.